mission back to the moon. And they're making their way really quickly, which is awesome. They have 6 days to orbit the moon, so they can go and set up base, because they want us to live on the moon. Anybody who's taken even, we'll say 6th grade science class, I think that's when they did it, 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade was when I did my whole the first half of my terraforming report on Mars. They would know you can't do it. You can't. The one that I did in 9th grade, when I fully wrapped everything together for terraforming Mars, NASA has. One of my old teachers at school, they work at NASA now, well, if they're still alive. I know they off the other teacher, so strangely too. Let me think about this. Okay, so the one teacher that they unalive, they can say what they want. I know what it was. I'll never forget the smell of that body floating in the Potomac. He knew how to swim just fine, but somehow he ended up unalive by water. Could you imagine that? Now, he was not a good person, and it may not have been them. It might have been the father of one of the girls that he may have done some things with that he shouldn't have. But either way, he's not with us anymore. He handed over the rest of my research to the one scientist that now works at NASA, and not long after that they started working on the terraforming Mars. And then it blew up about 15 years later, because they realized that everything that I had in my report could work, potentially, because we had a program at our school, much like, I forgot what it's called. It's a game that you could play on the computer about planets. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna try to figure out what it is. I'm gonna get it on my computer so my kids can play it, because it reminds me so much of the one that we played in school, where it wasn't a game for me, it was actually educational, and we were trying to figure out what planet could do what. And I'm sure if I remember the name, I'll look it up and I'll link it in my description or something, so that you guys can all look for yourselves. It is a good game. It's a real good game. I wish I could remember it, but I'm at a loss now, because it's been a while since I played it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I watched them taking off and going to the moon, and my daughter was so excited watching it. She, like, her whole face lit up. She just was so excited. I was like, that was my excitement when I was young, knowing that we were going somewhere new. Because there's nothing new on Earth except for the deep, and we can't do the deep. Like the Mariana Trench, people can't go down there. We don't have the proper equipment for that, so we can send unmanned submarines and hope they don't implode. In fact, we couldn't even find a way to send somebody into the ocean for Titanic. I had nightmares about that one after it happened. Like, you couldn't see on the video feed exactly what happened, but the way they described it, which I knew was inaccurate, number one. but they turned to a paste. That's not quite what happened, I'm sure. And they looked and they found out that's not what happened. It's gonna be fun times. I hope they figure out what they're doing. I hope they take plenty of potatoes with them, because that's the only thing that's gonna grow on the moon and Mars from the start until they create basically a dome around the moon and a dome around Mars to trap in the gases to create an environment that can produce life. I mean, they have the ability, it has the stepping stones for life on Mars and the moon, but it's not quite ready yet. We're not ready yet. We haven't learned enough about any of it yet. We always want to jump in, hands in, all the way, 2 feet in, no way to get out kind of situations. But yeah, so that was what I spent the night doing, and that's why I have the bags in my eyes. I'm glad my glasses cover my face a lot more than, because I shouldn't have stayed awake for so long. But I'm gonna get back in so I can play my game and start looking into what that game was called. And it's gonna drive me crazy until I figure it out. Either way, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.